All right. Hello, welcome to gagrel.net. My name is Wally Sarkisian. We thought today we catch up with Dr. Moumdjian, and he's sort of taking comfortable retirement in Palm Spring, and so we'll see what he's up to. He's an amazing guy. He wrote or translated lots of books. He was lecturing in UCLA and other colleges, and it's so we just want to see how he's doing, and maybe we could learn a little bit more stuff. Dr. Moumdjian, welcome.
Good morning, Wally, and thanks for having me for this talk.
All right, that was nice to have you again. I interviewed lots of people in the country, outside the country, in Armenia, and from Bangkok to who knows where, Lebanon. Always, when you interview, talk to people, something stick in your head. Last time when we were having some conversation, you said something like, I'm going to paraphrase it. You said, Armenian ambition doesn't meet the reality, or something like that. Mm-hmm. Can you elaborate on that?
See, the issue, Wally, is that as a historian, you have a different outlook towards the people and also their current political, social, cultural status. This is something maybe peculiar to historians, in the sense that since we know the history from point A to point B, we tend to always compare and contrast between situations. And when we look at the history, we try to get lessons from past experiences and try to see if today we are doing the same thing or doing a better thing or doing a worse thing. And I have come to the conclusion, in a sense, that for us Armenians, usually, the lessons of history are not learned. And because of that, we tend to be a little bit more, how should I put it? We think that we can have the cake and eat it too. Yeah. And that's not something that now modern states and their politics do work in that sense, because politics is what the general idea, or the simplest definition of politics is the possibilities of the moment. If at the moment you have a certain amount of capital, you can't go beyond that in terms of your political ambitions and etc. Sometimes in our history, our leaders have been cognizant of this, and sometimes, especially in the current era, I mean post Armenia's independence in 1991, it seems that there are the two ideas there. One of them is, let's get what we can from it, and the other idea is, no, we can do this and we have to do this. And those two are in certain contradiction to each other. And because of this, usually we don't get the results that we aspire for. If we had maybe lowered a little bit our ambitions, we would be able to get them. We will be able to reach them. But in a sense, when we are overextending our ambitions, and then we are not able to reach those ambitions, then a certain mood of sadness surrounds us, like is the situation at this moment with Armenians.
I was was invited at the human rights Armand Tatoyan and ANC were put the gala there, and I talked to some people, interviewed some people. It seems to be people. There are some people were saying sooner or later we're going to end up like Assyrian without country. What is your take on that?
Well, I'm not that gloomy in my outlook, Wally, but I understand where they are coming from, because today, at the moment, there is an existential issue for our nation. This doesn't come every day, by the way. Like in the 19th and 20th century, 20th and 21st centuries, for example, that existential moment came to us during World War I, and all the way to 1922, when there was an independent Armenia that was created. And now, 30 years after our second or third independence, as you want to call it, we are facing that existential moment again. You know what happened in the aftermath of World War I, and also what happened to the Independent Republic of Armenia that was created in 1918 and lasted for 2.5 years. After that, we were once again without an independent country. Most of our historical lands went to Turkey. The eastern part of the homeland was once again under Russian rule, albeit in a different manner, because Russia had adopted communism and had become the Soviet Union. And what happened was that there was only one segment of the population, of the Armenian population, which was now living outside of their homeland. What I mean is, what I refer to here is the diaspora Armenians. Okay? Now today, that existential moment is hitting our doors once again. And some people are afraid of it. And I understand their anxiety, maybe.
Well, I just don't know. I know Armenia, it's not in a good situation right now. This guy, Pashinyan, I have no idea how he, when you look at his background, a total idiot, how he fooled this Armenian nation and came in power. It's just, to me, it's mind-boggling, but I just want to know, what do you think?
Yeah, my take on Pashinyan is as follows. We had independence for 30 years, and during the administrations of the three presidents that we have, starting with Bedrosian, and then Robert Kocharyan, and then Serge Sarkisyan, apparently the governance of the people was not in good hands, and everybody knows of the usurpations and the siphoning of monies, etc., etc. Now comes a period where the third president, after finishing his 2 terms, wants to come again to power. Okay, and in order to do that, they tailor a system for him, by which the presidential system of Armenia is changed into a parliamentary one, just to continue the reproduction of the same and the same.
Right.
The people were fed up. Unfortunately, in such situations, in other countries or throughout history, you would see a force that will come forward and will be the catalyst for a new beginning for the country. In our case, that third force didn't materialize in terms of a national salvation front that would have been the best solution for Armenia and its people. So what happens? A third force, i.e. Nigol Pashinyan comes forth, and the people go with him because there is no other choice. This is what happened in Armenia. But the problem is that the powers to be in Armenia who are able to come forward and create a national salvation front are not up to par with their responsibility. And this is what creates the opportune moment for people like Pashinyan to be able to come and to rule the country. That's my take on it, Wally. It was not Pashinyan who was supposed to be the new leader. But in the absence of that amalgamation of the national forces that would bring forth a government, okay, c'est la vie. This is what happened. Pashinyan came, stole the moment, it was right, and the people love him because he is a populist. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah. So how do you see it? Do you see any light in the tunnel?
I mean, as an academician and as someone who talks to the people and the people listen to, I would never put the situation in extreme conditions. No, there is some light in the tunnel, but it also depends on if there would be a new awakening of the forces of the legitimate national aspiration forces, if they are able to come forward and create an alternative for the power today. I don't see that because those people who are trying to come forward in this dressing, let's say, are not the people are not believing in them, and they are not changing their modus operandi, which is I don't understand it. I mean, they say this is us. You either accept us or don't accept us. But the people say we already tried you. You know, come up with something new. Tell us what is the real thing. I mean, it's a hodgepodge. It's a hodgepodge, the politics in Armenia today. And because of that hodgepodge, there is a confused diaspora that is looking at what's happening and can't understand what's really happening.
But what diaspora can do? But diaspora, basically, Armenian always tell diaspora, send us money, come build a school, but don't tell us what to do, and we're smart, we know what to do. And so this is the dilemma the diaspora is now in. They don't know what to do.
Yes, unfortunately, that's the situation. The diaspora has been taken hostage to the leadership of Armenia, which does not understand the real power and possibilities that the diaspora can provide. And unfortunately, what they are asking the diaspora is just like the story of the milking cow. Okay, we will milk this cow until there is no more milk. And what do you do after that? They don't care. Yeah. That's the problem.
You know, I believe the problem is, because I'm going to have tomorrow one of the leaders of those parties talk to him. The problem is Pashinyan have successfully blackmailed the governments, which is in case, as you explained a few minutes, there was justifiable. But he created this cult hatred of government, and all he has to do, even tomorrow he could call election, and all he has to do, if you don't elect me, the former government is going to come. So basically, he made it, the former governments are worse than Azerbaijan and Turkey. And Pashinyan comfortably goes sit beside Aliyev and Erdogan and have no problem, yet he never tried to go sit beside Sarkisian or Kocharian, unite the country. He's not interested in uniting the country. he keep talking revenge, revenge. And he created, I don't know if you could see this, you Saint
not
Pashinyan.
working.
ազգի թակավորի մասին
Do you hear it?
վարկաբեկում են, անհարգում են, անհարգալից են խոսում, դա գալիս է իրենց տան դաստիարակությունից։ Ես ազգի թակավոր ես Ռոպեին գիտեմ, որ Նիկոլն է պետք է մնա, ու եթե Աստծո կողմից է դրված, ովքեր խոսում են իրանց ազգի թակավորի մասին, վարկաբեկում են,
I don't know if you heard of that. Did you hear it?
Yes, I did.
So,
I did.
so here is what Pashinyan created. There are people brainwashed. How anybody can go convince? I mean, I have so many of them. They're saying Garabet is not Armenian. They're saying they're what is that, Albanian? They were saying Garabet is not ours. We never heard those things before. Like every time I went in Armenia, I asked the people, I said, are you guys going to be able to keep Garabet? They said, Ampayman. But now people coming in the street saying, we don't need Garabet. So this is what he created.
The winning war has hundreds of subjects or people who would say we created it. But a defeat, nobody will admit to it. This defeat in the 44-day war of this year, of last year, this year, created a moment, psychological moment in the population where they are thinking like this maybe, that see, Garabet is a problem for us because of Garabet, the security of Armenia becomes under question, and we might even lose Armenia because of Garabet. And for those who are thinking this way, okay, they are the ones that are saying that Garabet is not a problem for us. The problem is keeping Armenia. And for those people who are the majority, most probably, this is what Pashinyan is approaching. It is this segment. And this segment is coming up with saying things like, we have to calm the situation down, this existential threat has to be bypassed, etc. On the other hand, there is the other side, which has its historical problems itself. We talked about it. And they are talking about creating a nation army, creating a more positive outlook towards the future, and also speaking of recapturing the lost lands. Okay? Now, between these two extremes lies the solution somewhere in the middle. Okay? Pashinyan has to come down from his animosity towards the others. That's a given. But the others have also to come out from their animosity against Pashinyan. If those two segments, okay, do not understand the tumultuousness of the moment and don't come together, okay, it's going to be very hard. Now, history tells us something here, Wally. In 1918, okay, when there was an existential moment, okay, all of them came together in Sarkarabat, Bashaparan, Garakilise, and at least were able to stop the Turkish advance. Huh? Now, the moment calls for for the recreation of such an effort, but our politicians are not up to par with the creation of such a moment. Am I able to make myself understood, Wally?
Yeah.
Because the people will follow the leadership however the matter. If they can come together, okay, the people will follow. But they are not coming together because there is a strong power struggle in Armenia. And when you say to them that this is not the time for this power struggle, the wolf is on your door and it is going to eat you. Okay, at this moment, power struggle is not going to save you. The only way you can be saved, possibly, is when you combine your efforts together and confront the enemy.
Yeah.
But that is not happening, unfortunately.
And I don't think will ever happen because Pashinyan by nature he is very revengeful, he's very hatred. I mean anybody like Pashinyan who comes power had the old people behind them. Why do you need to go create confrontation with the Garabet, with the Tashnak, with this, with that? You would unite the people. He says, okay, everybody behind me. Why? What is the confrontation will give you?
No, Pashinyan's administration could never unite the people. It's apparent.
Yeah, impossible.
But the problem is also that the other side is not also budging. It's not budging away.
Yes,
okay?
Exactly.
So there is a stalemate. There is a stalemate in the politics of Armenia.
You're absolutely right. And also, there is no a leader or people like even from diaspora or from Armenia will interfere, bring. There is nobody there, and all is divided, and this is the problem. Like even in United States, always you see some leadership, somebody will do, like for example, in Trump case, when the people within Trump, they saw that they were saying he's not fit or this. In fact, in United States, Democrat didn't win because they didn't do anything. It's the Republicans self-destructed and the Democrat win. But in Armenia, there is no such a thing. Nobody in Pashinyan government is going to turn against Pashinyan because he brought them from the street. He gave them the positions. And I think here I have some pictures. And those are all now ruling Armenia. Those are all, they came activists. And those are the people are going to go negotiate with ruthless dictators. And this is the problem.
Yeah. The issue is once again begs to be compared historically. Now, that's why I said that throughout our history, Wally, if you look at it, there has always been these two sides in conflicts within the Armenian population. Okay? That's how at least Armenian history is taught in our schools. For every Vartan, there is a Vasan. For every Ardashes, there is an Ardavas. For every national liberation struggle leader, there is someone who is ready to compromise. This is the psyche, the political psyche that the Armenian people walk on. This is how they have learned it. In today's political reality, that's not the case, and we have to come up a little bit, educate ourselves in order to reach a certain level of understanding what the politics are. Now, in the case of Armenia today, I can surely tell you that Putin is very happy, by the way, with Pashinyan. He doesn't want to change him. Yeah. And there are reasons for this, because Pashinyan is saying okay to everything that Putin is saying. Now, the issue is that the other side of the coin, those who are trying to come up with a national salvation front, have always been okay with whatever Putin says in the past. Okay, and the issue is today that politics is not as secretive as it used to be in decades past. Today, in the age of technology and social media, etc., everything is in the open, and people are having more, learning more and more about what is really happening. That's why what was possible in 1918, for example, there were lots of problems in 1918. Nobody can deny that. But when Aram comes up as a leader, Aram Manukyan, and says that we are going to fight, to the last man, because this is the stance. After that, we are no more. Huh? So there is some sort of national population amalgamation or national struggle, let's say. Now today, you cannot have, there is no leader who can come up and single-handedly, okay, tell people something like this and people will follow him. There is no possibility today.
No, no.
Okay? There were lots of bickering at the time too. Even in the 2.5 years of the Republic of Armenia, there was lots of bickering between the parties. I mean, if you read the newspapers of the day, you will see all this. It was not different from what is manifested today and what we are seeing today. But the issue is that at that time, people didn't know everything. Today, people know everything, you know.
Yeah.
And this is a problematic thing because of this new age of internet and social media that we are living in, and it's something that we haven't gotten used to still, you know, because politics is being played on Facebook more than it is being played in the White House or in the Kremlin or something.
Well, we have about 4 minutes. You know, I never, like, you know, I always, when I started this Gagru.net in 2000, we were just concentrating on Turkish corruption and all that. And now we're concentrating on Armenia. There's so much because problem. I don't want to do that, but it's just like it drags you into it. You see that the country is it's, you know, they just, you don't know like who to blame, but we know this revolution, this war, I listened to hundreds of soldiers, the video. Today is only people who are telling the truth are the soldiers. The only people who is fighting the system or against Pashinyan are the soldiers. They are saying, you know, my brother with me killed because I didn't have support. My this happened, that happened. I listened to hundreds of videos, you know, and I see it. Only soldiers are coming and speaking out. Nobody else. The other ones are just bickering against each other and things. And I don't know where to go. I'm going to give you the last few words.
Yep. I'm not going to delve once again into who said, he said, she said, he said, they said, because for me there is as I said, an existential moment in front of us. Now, either we as a nation confront this in a way that we can bring forth some semblance of unity, or either we lose the momentum, and most probably, even if Armenia is not going to be taken over by Azerbaijan, most probably we are going to become a satellite, a real satellite this time, of Russia.
Yeah.
There are powers to be in Armenia, even from the other side, not Pashinyan himself, who are okay with this outlook. They want Armenia to be a real satellite of Russia, and its national security be secured by Russia itself. Unfortunately, we don't understand, it seems, what it means to be the owners of a independent state which is forever. If we don't understand this situation and do something about it, I said this in another interview, the coming generation of Armenians is going to be very vindictive against us and our memory, Wally.
Yeah.
Because they will say, it was your job to do this, to create a country, and you failed in doing so. Okay? And this new generation will be in Armenia itself and in the diaspora. Look at it this way. The young generation is not involving itself with all this bullshit. Okay? It's not involving itself in this bullshit because they know that there is a better way. There is a scientific way of approaching this kind of issues, and the powers to be in Armenia don't want to understand this unless or when they see the importance of such a unity. Okay, when they see the importance of such a unity and they adapt and opt for it, okay, coming generations are going to be very critical of. I mean, history is not going to be merciful against those people. Let me put it this way.
Yeah.
If they want to have a good image in history, let them change their attitudes.
Yes. Well, thank you very much again. I really appreciate, and hopefully we talk to you some other time. And you're always full of information, full of ideas, and keep up, stay healthy, and Armenia need people like you. Again,
Thank you again, and I hope that what we said today is going to heed to some people to change their attitudes, because there is no other way. I mean, fighting each other internally when an enemy is on your border and trying to come in is not a good idea, you know.
Yeah.
I hope they listen and they start changing.
Okay. Well, for our listener, thank you very much for watching. Tomorrow, this time, we're going to have opposition leader from Armenia, and we'll see what we learn from there. And thank you for watching. We'll see you some other episode.